Okay, so my favorite part of this issue is no doubt the reveal of Raven as she meets with her mother, Arella. And I want to say this, like, she's beautiful, like, physically. All the female characters that I've seen in this series are really beautiful, and I'm someone that likes female character designs and fan service stuff. So physically, body wise, yeah, Raven is definitely in the top tier. I also read somewhere, I'm not sure if it's this particular version of Raven, but I think that her canon height is supposed to be like 5'11", and I like tall females in reality as well. So I'm all for that. That was actually a pleasant surprise when I actually discovered Raven's height, because I didn't expect her to be that tall. I knew Starfire was tall, but I didn't expect Raven to be. Um, but I'm saying all of that before saying this, so no one at all feels like I'm throwing any sort of shade whatsoever. And let me also say this, in case I haven't said it before. Raven is literally my favorite female superhero. She's literally my favorite female superhero, right? So there you go. My favorite female superhero is Raven. My favorite male superhero is Spider-Man, followed closely by Batman. Raven is basically on that tier to me in terms of how much I like the character. Okay? Now, the criticism that I have, or not even a criticism, but just going through this for the first time, going through this series for the first time in full. I've started it already years ago, but I never had the time to truly go through it. This time, as these videos are going up, I am going through the full New Teen Titans comic book run. Face wise, I have to say that I prefer the 2000s animated series Face Raven. Like if we had like that particular, and I'm an artist, so I may do it, maybe if not in one of these thumbnails, maybe at some point in the future. But I would want to use that face of Raven on this body or in this particular art style, and that would be perfect. Like that combination would be like a literal bombshell. So face wise, give it to the 2000s Ravens. Give it to the 2000s Raven. And physically, like body wise, everything else, literally everything else, would be this Raven. This Raven is truly stunning. And apparently she left Azaroth, the temple. I'm not sure how long ago she did it, but she left probably in order to well, actually we don't know the main reason why she left. Maybe it was to stop Trigon. I don't really know, but she left Azeroth. They said that once you abandon, leaving means basically you're abandoning Azeroth. Once you do that, you can never return. So her showing up and trying to get her mom to help beat Trigon, and her mom is hot as well. But seriously, unfortunately, the main point of this issue is the battle between the Titans and the Justice League. The Justice League, they claim they are trying to stop some sorcerers. Raven is trying to get them to listen and told them not to. They don't want to hear anything she's saying. They think that the sorcerers are doing something evil, but in reality they were actually trying to prevent Trigon from coming. There was all sorts of manipulation going on behind the scenes because the Fearsome Five was initially manipulating the Titans to attack the Justice League in their tower. Raven showed up, helped them out, brought the Titans to where the sorcerers were, but then somehow the League returned, and this time they were just going back to what they were trying to do originally, which is to stop the sorcerers that led to a battle. The Justice League was really infuriating in this chapter, in this issue, and funny enough, Superman isn't here. And I get the feeling that if Superman was here, but you'd think that Batman of all people would have been the one to rise above the foolishness and actually see that Raven is telling the truth. Because what happened was, at some point off screen, before, weeks or months ago, she tried to get the League to help her stop Trigon. They didn't listen to her, and apparently that was due to Zatanna sensing evil within her. Now, we didn't get it spelled out for us in this issue on Raven's parentage, even though we saw her mother allegedly early on in this issue, but we didn't get it spelled out. But for those of you who watched the 2000 series, spoiler alert, you can pretty much cut this video off if you don't want to be spoiled, but Trigon is Raven's father. So the evil that Zatanna is sensing is the blood of Trigon within Raven. But for you to just use that to just completely shut down what someone is claiming, like, why else would someone dressed like this with this type of power tell you about this being Trigon anyway, if they are evil? Like, I don't get how Zatanna could make that leap to the point where she just disregards literally everything about Raven just because she sensed an evil blood within her, when Raven didn't have any history at all of doing anything evil. So that's the part of this whole thing that I do not like at all. I'm disappointed in this version of Batman. If I was to do a ranking, this Batman would be like literal rock bottom, because he is usually the more what's the word? He's just he usually has a higher intellect, and just when it comes to just common sense, Batman is usually the one that you expect to showcase most of that. But anyway, I'm actually recording this in real time as I read the issue, so maybe the next issue there's some reveal, because this actually ends with Zatanna, after Trigon claimed he was free and the sorcerers apparently died, everyone stopped the fighting, and Zatanna pretty much spilled the beans that Raven manipulated Kid Flash to loving her, because Kid Flash apparently turned her down the first time, and then it just led to this weird bickering where they got into some semantics about Raven not being 100% truthful. But this is another infuriating thing about this, because even if she's not 100% truthful, you literally just saw the power and everything and all that's going on. Everything else that she said, I don't get how you can differentiate between that. But this was the 80s. This was before these types of tropes became overused and borderline illogical. So this was back in for that era. So for this 1980s era, this was kind of a new thing. But anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this issue I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah.